welcome to the class. And as I mentioned, we are going to focus on writing essays. Why is it important? Because you will need it in your university life and also for any report later on when you are, inshallah, working in your practical life. So we'll start with certain videos, editorial ones, to show you how to write an essay, and then we'll talk about how to develop a thesis statement, which is important, and we'll talk later on about the different types of essays. We have argumentative, and we have compare and contrast, and we have descriptive, and lots of different purposes. So let's start by it's a series of videos, editorials. Let's pay attention. And I want you please to take down notes, if that is possible. What are the most important tips you can do?
Perspective through informed arguments, supported with evidence. Welcome to your crash course on essay writing. By the time you finish this series, you'll be all set to ace your essay. This is the first video of the playlist, in which you'll learn the basics. In an academic essay, the goal is to persuade readers of a position or perspective through informed arguments, supported with evidence and analysis. There are three main stages to writing an essay: preparation, writing, revision. In this video, I'll quickly go through all the stages and steps with you. And in the next few videos in this playlist, we'll go more into detail for each stage with example sentences and paragraphs. Can't wait? Let's dive right in. Hi, I'm Jessica from Scribber, here to help you achieve your academic goals. In the preparation stage, you first need to understand the assignment and choose a topic. Once you've chosen your topic, you should come up with an initial thesis. This is the main point you want to make in the essay, or the position you're going to argue for. At this stage, it doesn't have to be perfectly phrased, but it's important to start with a clear idea of what you want to say. Then you can start creating an outline and planning your essay structure. This will kickstart your writing and keep you on track. Preparation is done, and now we're moving on to writing. Every essay starts off with an introduction. It's important to grab the reader's interest right off the bat and inform them what will be covered in the essay. Hook the reader in the first sentence, and then give context that will help your reader understand your argument. This might involve providing brief background information, giving an overview of important academic work or debates on the topic, and explaining difficult terms. But don't overdo it. Just enough to give the reader a taste, you know? Next, remember the thesis statement from before? Present it here. Tell the reader the central argument you're going to make. The thesis statement is usually 1 or 2 sentences long, and it drives the whole essay, so make sure to spend some time on this part. You can end your introduction section with an overview of the essay, so basically signposting your essay structure. Moving on to the body section. This is the longest part of your essay, usually around 60 to 80%. Here is where you make arguments supporting your thesis, provide evidence, and develop your ideas. It's easy to get lost in a big chunk of text. To give your essay a clear structure, it is important to make use of paragraphs. Each paragraph should be centered around just one argument or idea. Introduce the purpose of each paragraph using topic sentences. A good topic sentence makes a transition from the previous paragraph and introduces the argument to be made in this paragraph. After the topic sentence, present evidence by providing the reader with data, examples, or quotes. Be sure to interpret and explain the evidence, and show how it helps develop your overall argument. Whew! The hard work is done, and you've arrived at the last paragraph of your essay, the conclusion. Here are 3 things you should do. Summarize and tie together the points you made in the essay's body. Show the outcome of your arguments. What new insights have you provided? Emphasize why your argument matters. After you're done writing, but before you submit your hard work, it's important to revise and polish your writing. Double-check your arguments. Have you said everything you meant to say, or do some points need restructuring? Finally, Make sure to check your grammar, spelling, and formatting. And if you've cited sources in your paper, also use a plagiarism checker to make sure everything is good to go. Once you've checked everything off this checklist here, you're good to go. When you work course on essay writing, by the time you finish
Attention business owners. If you're a business owner, you can get free access to this.
So here in this video, the coming one, just look at the structured essay, the outline, because you need to focus on this seriously important in writing your essay. Each paragraph should have a separate idea, so do not go back and forth, repeat the same idea in the coming one. Okay, so let's continue.
topic, you can map out the rough structure of your essay in an outline. This will make it easier to get started and keep you on track. Creating an outline involves writing quick summary sentences or phrases for every point you will cover in each paragraph, giving you a picture of how your argument will unfold. So my topic is about the development of Braille, which is the raised dot reading and writing system used by visually impaired people. Want to learn how to create an outline for your essay? Then stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jessica from Scribber, here to help you achieve your academic goals. At the stage where you're writing an essay outline, you should already have an initial thesis or argument. In our case, that is, the invention of Braille helped transform blind people's social status in the 19th century. Once you have an idea of your overall argument, you can begin to organize your material in a way that serves the argument. At this stage, you probably have a lot of different ideas and potential sources. Start by trying to group your ideas together and identify a few broad themes. So this essay, our ideas can be roughly divided into three main themes: the situation of blind people before Braille's invention, the invention and spread of the Braille system, the consequences of Braille's invention. They all support and build up to the overall argument. Under each theme, plan out exactly what points you want to make. Each point should be clearly related to your thesis. Remember, an essay doesn't just list everything you know about a topic. It's about building a coherent argument. To get there, you should clearly state what you want to say in each part. So for example, when we discuss the invention and spread of Braille, we want to make two key points to advance our argument. 1. That existing tactile reading system at the time were not effective enough. And 2. That Braille was more successful because it was designed specifically for blind people's needs. When you have your material and arguments organized into themes, consider what order they should appear in. Is there an obvious starting point for your argument? Or do some points need to be set up by discussing other points first? Is there one subject that provides an easy transition into another? Since this essay is about a series of events, we're taking a chronological approach, which means discussing events in the order in which they occurred and explaining how they are related as you go. To show why Braille was so important, we need to set up our argument by first describing the situation for blind people before Braille's invention. This provides a logical transition to the invention itself and how it spread. Finally, we make our argument about the consequences for blind people's status. This is just one of the many ways to structure an essay. Check out this article to see examples for other structures. After planning out the ideas for each paragraph and putting them into a logical order, it's time to think about the analysis and evidence you'll use to support your points. Take a look at part 2. How did the invention of Braille start? Existing tactile reading systems were not suitable for everyday use. To support this claim, we'll discuss the two systems that came before Braille and why they were not good enough. When you're done outlining your essay, we're moving on to the writing part. Woohoo! Watch this video next to learn how to write an introduction. I'll see you there.
Fortune is my best friend.
Hey, when it comes to writing.
And I'm not just talking about grammar or...
Hey there, are you struggling with writing a thesis statement? Don't frown, Scribber to the rescue. Hi, I'm Jessica from Scribber, here to help you achieve your academic goals. Are you ready to get things done? I'll show you how to write an awesome thesis statement in 3 steps. It's good to first point out what a thesis statement does. It sums up the main point of your paper, just 1 or 2 sentences long, and usually appears at the end of your introduction. Once you've established a thesis statement, you can keep it in mind throughout the whole writing process and say goodbye to going off topic. Sounds good? Now, you only need 3 simple ingredients to cook up a great thesis statement. You need to mention the main topic of your paper. Take a position and state your argument, and summarize the evidence you'll use to support your argument. Here we go! 3 steps to write a thesis statement. Step 1. We need to come up with a research question. So a research question would be, what were the main factors that led to the result of the 2016 Brexit referendum? If you want to know how to formulate a strong research question, I have a video on that as well. Step 2. Find a tentative answer to the research question you came up with in step 1. Since we're taking an argumentative approach here, the answer should take a strong position on the topic. So something like this. Brexit was driven by political frustration, and this will be the initial thesis statement. Next, as we keep on researching, we discover more evidence and sources. So keep developing and refining your thesis statement. The final thesis statement should be elaborate and also summarizes the overall argument. The Brexit referendum result was driven by working class frustration with the political elite, caused by austerity policies that have eroded public services and fragmented communities. The referendum offered an alternative to the status quo. Let's examine how strong our thesis statement is. The best thesis statements are concise, disputable, and coherent. Our thesis statement is concise. It builds up to a central argument, which is Brexit was driven by political frustration, and leaves out other information like the consequences of Brexit. To keep it concise, avoid general and vague wordings. Keep it in a sentence or 2. It's also disputable. The thesis statement took a position that some might argue the other way around. It's not a simple fact the readers will easily accept, as it requires further evidence and persuasion which encourages readers to keep reading. Our thesis statement is coherent as well. The 3 parts of a thesis statement, topic, position, and evidence, were all well connected and presented in a logical manner. Depending on the aim of your paper, there are different types of thesis statement you can choose from. The first type is argumentative, which is the example we used earlier. An argumentative thesis statement should take a clear position, since the goal is to persuade your reader of a claim. If you want to analyze, interpret, or evaluate different aspects of a topic, then your thesis statement should map out the key points of your analysis and briefly introduce the conclusions you will draw from it. For example, the history of the UK's relationship to the EU is complicated. From the beginning, Britain has been reluctant to fully integrate into Europe, both economically and culturally. But the politics of EU membership has changed throughout the past 50 years. Of course, your paper could also aim to explain and discuss the facts of a topic. In this case, your thesis statement should summarize all the main points you will cover. Polling and surveys shed light on the demographics of the Brexit vote, which can be broken down in terms of age, ethnicity, region, and educational level. After going through this video, you should be able to come up with a strong thesis statement for your paper now. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like. If you have any question, ask away in the comments.
So I hope you take down notes and you know exactly what you need to write about. This is really very useful, and I advise you, if you follow the tutorial scholar articles, rely mainly on the ones coming from the UK. It makes sense because you know that the English language, of course, and the grammar and all the insights of the English language started, and let's say the root of the academia is in Britain. So when you follow the advice, would be fine. This is the basics of writing an essay. In this unit, we will be checking different types of essays. But now I want you to have some discussion on the Google Classroom. So if you don't mind, let's go to Google Classroom. We'll be discussing and writing the most important pieces. I would like you to help me write the notes that we can write in the Google Classroom under the announcement area. Remember, this is our whiteboard. Okay, so this is the announcement area. I hope you can go now to your Google Classroom. So essay writing tips. Who would like to give me one? Who would like to give me one point? Yes, go ahead, Yusuf.
When you come to write, the arguments and the evidence, to organize it, use paragraphs. So use one paragraph, new paragraph for every argument and its evidence.
Excellent,
That
excellent.
your essay is organized.
And where would you have these? Are they in the intro or the body?
In the body.
Excellent. So we have to, first we need to brainstorm the ideas you will write in the essay. Then the second thing is to follow the structure. What you mentioned is in part number 2. If we think of an essay, the first part will be the intro, where you need to move on from the, let's say, the general, the global, and the global, or for the background. So in the video, she said background, right? The background, or the general, or the main topic. Okay. Then comes in the intro. Under the intro, you need to figure the thesis. All right. What did she say about the thesis? What is the most important thing? Do you remember anything, Safa? Can you catch anything?
There was 3 points: topic, position, and evidence.
That would be in the body, but when we are writing the thesis is the main statement. Like, I need to know, yes, your position. What is your position? Meaning, are you there or not? So it introduces you to the main idea, then or the main topic, and then main topic. Okay. And then you show me your position. Your position. Are you with or for, against? What do you think? Pay attention. This is not an argumentative essay where you display two opposing ideas. This is, in another words, is a kind of descriptive essay where you have one argument, or when you have one opinion and you want to convince me. We also call it opinionative essay, where you need to talk about a certain topic and show me those exactly in the intro. When you are writing your thesis, you need to think about the main idea. You move on from the general idea or the background or the history, name it whatever. And then you move on to the main idea, the topic that you will take the side of, show me your position, and then give me the evidence. Another important thing she mentioned concerning the thesis, what is it? Can anybody tell? Well, how it should be? Like, is the thesis, for example, going to be 4 lines? 4 or 5 lines?
No.
Very good. So it should be concise. Yes, very good. It should be concise. Okay. And could it be like just a fact, or I need to show that this is the point I am defending? This is a dispute over it. What do you think?
You need to show your argument.
So it should be like disputable, right? It should be disputable, like to show me, like, this is like your baby. This is the baby you're defending. I always say, my writing is my baby. My lesson plan is my baby, because this is my creation. I need to defend it. And of course, it should be coherent meaning no discrepancy, all talking about one topic. I don't feel like, you know, you're giving me one word from the east and another word from the west. It doesn't make sense. Coherent meaning all as one unit. Now let's, if we again, and here what you will be doing, you will be responding under the post here. When I'm done with the collective cooperation here, I will ask you to respond right under the area here. You will take time and everything. You will try to do it. However, you need to respond here. Okay. So if I say, for example, I believe that summer is the best season of the year. Okay, let me, okay. So if I tell you this one, this is kind of a topic, this is practical practice time for us. I believe that summer is the best season of the year. What about yours? Yours here, I mean, which season you prefer, why you think it is the best. So this is going to be opinionative topic. Of course, this is not going to be a whole essay, but only practice for the intro plus the thesis. So here, practice writing the intro and the thesis of your opinionative / argumentative. All right. So argumentative, this is opinion. All right. So some of the argumentative essays have two different opinions, two opposing opinions. If you have an essay like this, you need to talk about the two. However, to show me which side are you taking. Other type of argumentative essay, or rather opinionative, it's like more of deciding which side are you taking, which one are you, like, you know, you'll be the advocate of which one. So now let's practice within I think 500 would be too much, maybe a short paragraph. I'm not gonna say exactly how many words, short intro, and okay. So that is going to be your task now. I'm gonna post. Here I have to thank you both here. Thank you both. Safa. Are you seeing my screen?
No.
I told you, please look at the class, Google
Classroom.
Class.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like sharing your screen.
No, I mean, can you see what?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
perfect. Okay,
Yes, can see.
thank you both, Safa and Yusuf, for prompting ideas in the discussion board. So as I mentioned, the white space here, the announcement area, is the discussion board. It's the whiteboard, like just the regular classroom. Okay, so now under what I wrote here, you are going to respond. Choose any season you believe that this is your best season, maybe summer, maybe winter, maybe fall. Mention that in your introduction and choose your thesis, and then write your position, what is the area you side with and why, of course. I'll give you until 6 o'clock, okay? Please put your responses here under this area.
Yes.
And I want you, both of you, to comment to each other. Maybe you say, yes, I like this idea. Thank you for sharing. Just to give the feeling that this is the whiteboard. We were going to have inspectors coming and they wanted to see the interaction in the class. Because I give you marks for class interaction and oral participation. So they wanted to have an evidence. You know what I mean? All right. So let me,
Yes.
I'm not sure, are we still recording?
Yes.
All right, perfect. No worries. So while you are working now, I will stop recording and all your input should be placed on the Google Classroom. And thank you so much for being active and fast learner. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, so all right. So what we will be doing now is the fundamentals of writing a descriptive essay. As I mentioned, it's pretty close to see an argumentative essay or opinionative essay or descriptive essay. Sometimes when you describe something, you just describe it without having any feelings. Or without having any subjective views, depending on the rubric or the prompt that you will get for writing an essay. If, for example, they tell you describe the character XYZ in any of the literary works, then you have to write as is. However, it's okay to mention your own opinion. So what we will be doing now, we will have a look at the different type of essay. So can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes.
All right, so how to write a descriptive essay? First of all, it's either when I tell you, okay, write me a descriptive essay about anything. So here you have the opportunity to choose your topic. Of course, because we are in education setting, a school setting, you will be given the topic. So sometimes the topic is an abstract or very dry, and it's your responsibility to try to make it in a pleasing a hook, attention grabber, and to add some elements of creativity. You need to gather evidence to plan your essay in a better way, and then you structure it and decide what the descriptions you are going to mention. You need to figure out the outline. Let me highlight the most important things here. So the evidence, if you are going to talk about a certain thing, then you need to give me evidence, and then you plan your essay, and then you figure out the outline, how it is going to be designed, because every essay with a certain purpose has a different structure. We will be talking about it like later, right? Everyone, the argumentative and this and that. Okay, then you start outlining, and then when you are preparing your essay, you will have bullet points to tell yourself what are you going to write about. Here in this first paragraph, I will be writing about this, second one, this, and so on, using bullets. If we were in like a normal school setting, it will be interactive writing. Like you are not going to give me the essay as a final product. I need to see the process of writing the essay, and it's going to have back and forth so many times if we were in normal circumstances. For now, I'll explain exactly what is required from you. Probably will be focusing on certain bits and pieces of the writing, and of course for the grade for the essay in this unit will be like one piece. Fine. All right, so of course, I don't want to stress enough how important for you to proofread, how important for you to make sure it is grammar free, grammatical error free, the spelling, the punctuation, all of these you need to check more than one time. I just want to highlight an important thing. If you ever go to ChatGPT or you go to any of those online writing, that will be noticed, and that will be definitely will be realized. And of course, you're not going to get a good mark because the aim is to teach you. The aim is to make you able to tailor your writing skills as per the requirement. Since you start learning how to develop your ideas, this is what we are for. So listen to my advice and do not just go to ChatGPT and copy paste. And I know what is happening. So just pay attention to this. Now, what is a descriptive essay and where you can get it? You will get it, let's say, in Unit 3 and Unit 4 for the short stories and the play. All of these units, you will be required to write descriptive essays, whether it is a character analysis or to describe the theme of XYZ, the theme of love, the theme of hatred, the theme of whatever, depending on the play you are studying, or the theme of social injustice in one of the short stories. So here you need to use the descriptive structure of an essay. So you can vary it depending on what you are describing. This is exactly what I tell you. And also the purpose of writing the essay. Definitely, any essay of those types, whether it is to write an analysis of a character or whether it is to write the development of a certain theme in any of the literary works, it should follow the same structure. Introduction, thesis statement, main body, and the conclusion. Now let's take it easy things at first. So the introduction is similar to the bun on the first layer of the sandwich, the bun that you can see on top. And the last one, the conclusion, also the other bun, the other piece of your sandwich. So if this is made of bread, this one is also made of bread. What does this mean? It means the wording, the words, not exactly the same, but somehow the same words that you started with, you will be rephrasing the same words in the conclusion. That's why we call it, it's the piece of bread here, the piece of bread here, similar. What's inside is the different ingredients if you're eating a burger, sandwich, or whatever. So you will see the lettuce, a layer of lettuce, you will see tomato, onion, and then the burger. All of these will be here. So I just give you this very funny example to make you realize that your essay should be like a circle, all of it same one unit. In the thesis, you will be outlining your description, whether it is, as I mentioned, development of a certain theme or a character. You will go into more details when you come on to the main body. The main body here could be of 2 or 3 or 4 paragraphs, depending on what you are writing. Let's say you are talking about a certain topic that will include lots of information. Like if I say sports, why is it important? So you will be writing something about sports here, and then, or maybe for the introduction, as we always know, from the introduction, you move from the general to the more specific of your topic. So if I say sports in general, you might start by talking about health in general, keeping a healthy body, or means of spending your time in a wise way. One of the wise ways is to spend your time or free time doing some sport. Here in the thesis statement, you can tell me that sport is important for maintaining longevity and your body building and whatever. And then in the main body, you start giving me different paragraphs. Each paragraph has one main idea. Like for example, one paragraph can be about the different types of sports. Second paragraph could be the effect of sport on the mental and psychological health. Maybe the third paragraph could be the effect of a sport on your body and muscles and this and this and that. So you gave me different topics here, different main ideas or different sub-ideas here. Each paragraph will be talking about one with the details that will support the main idea. As simple as that. Just look at it as a burger sandwich. Exactly, it's like, you know, very well structured. Okay, so it's really, really important for you to look at the beginning, the catchy statement, the attention grabber, they call it a hook. So draw your reader in by starting with the first line that will grab the reader's attention right away. So the first line could start in a scene with a strong description of an event, place, object, or a person. You could also describe the first time you experienced this event. Like if we say we're talking about anything like sport or something, maybe you can talk about the effect of a sport on you, or you have seen it on your friend or in your father or anybody. You can mention it as an attention grabber. Or maybe it's a current event. Maybe you can start by saying that nowadays everybody is watching the Olympics and the effect of so and so. And you can start from here to draw my attention as a reader. Provide the context and the background. Of course, you need to show me what are you talking about. And here we have an example. You may briefly explain why the object was so significant. If we apply this to the sport thing, you might be mentioning why it is like everybody is so busy watching the World Cup, FIFA, or whatever, any of the kind of a sport. And from there, you could take it to the, here as an example up to this point. I had never owned a doll before. This is maybe taken from an essay about people who were deprived of toys when they were children, and if that affected them when they grew up. So maybe you can go for something similar about the joy that you and your neighbors and or your classmates felt when you were following up with sports or the Olympics or anything. Then you move on to sensory details. And here, when you use the sensory, the five senses, be careful, because sometimes that won't be applicable to certain topics or essay prompts. Like, for example, if I ask you to write an essay about revenge, as you will see in the play that we will be studying. The revenge, you might say, revenge has a bitter and sweet taste. So this is okay. Why? Because it is applicable to the topic here. So when you say has a bitter and sweet taste, this you will be talking about the sense of taste. If you say, for example, the victorious team, or you can say victory smells like the best odors ever. So maybe you talk about smell. Or if you talk about the rough and like you remember when we studied Come Live With Me and Be My Love, the poem, maybe you can explain using the feelings that touch the heart like a soft feather touching the girl's heart. Remember when Safa mentioned that those words touched her heart because this is so romantic. So you can definitely use any of those in a wise way. You can say, for example, looking for freedom, like, you know, if people have been in bondage for a long time and they break the chains, the sound of liberty is so loud that people wake up from their sleep and this and that. You can use those ways to describe the details using sensory. So you have to be very careful when you use them to make them effective, strong. And of course, the more you use the tools of description, you will have a better grade. Again, this is an example of the essay about being deprived from toys when she was young. She said the doll was pretty. The doll felt soft and cold in my hands. It smelled like flowers and baby powder. It sounded hollow when I pressed it to my chest. Look at the way the writer or the author is talking about the feeling of being deprived of toys when she was young. This is absolutely okay. Now, show rather than tell, which means to write a good opening for your essay, we need you to focus on showing the readers the scene rather than telling them the scene. Now, if you are describing an act in one of the plays, so you need to describe the scene. You can say Shakespeare started the scene by showing this and that with the thunder roaring at the back to attract the attention of the audience. The aim, the main purpose for Shakespeare here is so and so and so. So you can apply those even when you are writing your essays to analyze the literary work you will have. So I don't think it's going to be a tough job. I'm sure that you can do that, and especially that we are taking like the bits and pieces now. Look at that. For example, you may describe how it feels to be in your childhood home by writing the best memories in my childhood home appear on the walls, dents, scratches and markings made by my siblings and I when we rested or ran around inside. Of course, in the final exam and in university assignments, you're not going to write a personal descriptive essay, but this is just to teach you how to use your talents and how to be aware of the descriptions that you can include. Yes, by all means, you can use the sensory words when you can, depending, of course, on the prompt. For example, you may write, Mrs. Sands showed me compassion or showed the character compassion by always taking the time to work with the character after class. She sat down and in her room that smells like wooden and this and that. This is one of the ways when you describe. For example, let's look at this. And that is going to be your task now. Describe the idea of freedom, as simple as that. This is a dry topic or an abstract topic. I will ask you to write an essay. I am not going to give you like marks. This is going to be your classwork, and at the same time, we consider it as homework. This is going to be proof that you are able, and by the way, you yourself are going to give grading to yourself using a rubric. So I'm going to ask you to do that, but I just need to share with you. I'm going to have it in the chat box now, copy. However, I just want to share with you, it's in here, right? It's in the chat box. Describe the idea of freedom. I just want to show you also another to the point structure of writing a descriptive essay, and then I will give you time to work on your essay about freedom. And this time I will ask you to evaluate your own self. All right, so how to write a descriptive essay, pretty much similar to the other document. It's a descriptive way. It's a descriptive essay to describe something. These could be a person or a people or a theme or an idea or an abstract idea by way of description. On top of this, the descriptive essay is a great chance for the author, which is you, to use your creative skills. Some essays will be just dry because you are giving facts, and other essays, I need to see your creative skills. You will be having like a rubric to show creativity. When you have the opportunity to choose a topic, that is fine. If not, then it will be given to you. So we worked our way on choosing a certain season that you think is your best. We have different topics, but again, we tried the summer or the winter or the season that you prefer for using introduction and thesis. Now we'll also practice how to do a creative descriptive essay about an abstract topic, which is freedom. Pretty much is the same, like introduction. In the introduction, you include your thesis. Please, please, please do not forget when you write your wonderful introduction. I don't want to be like measuring, but if we say like you have 2 lines as introduction from the very general towards the more specific, let's say 2 lines for the general, 2 lines for the thesis, where you start talking about the main essay will be about what. Okay, remember the example about the sports. And then in the body, you will have the first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, depending. This section will give the detail for the first point of your essay. Remember, each paragraph should have a main idea and details that support the main idea. So please don't ever write one idea and then you move to another paragraph and write another idea and then come back to the same idea. Try to be organized. I need to see this kind of structure. Can you see the structure here? This is the structure we want to see in your essay. Now, general tips, make sure that you take time to properly brainstorm before you begin your writing. The language that you use, if you are describing something like in, an abstract, you need to use the present tense. If you are writing to describe how, for example, Shakespeare drew the character of so, you can use the present tense because you are describing. But if you are going to talk about certain events in the play or in the story, you can also, by the way, to use present tense. The only thing is take care, do not vary between present and past, unless, of course, you are giving a quotation. When you quote something from the literary work, you just keep it as is, okay? Consider using synonyms, words, like, you can always use, if you write using, I believe you know that, when you write using the word skill, Microsoft Word, you can highlight a word to check the synonyms. It's okay to use different synonyms and try to be creative. And this is for the writing an essay. I just sent you the describe the idea of freedom, and I will be sending you the rubric to see how you can evaluate yourself. Any questions? All clear?
Yes.
Any difficulty? Do you think it's a tough task or a hard assignment? Is it clear? I know it's an abstract, But I am sure you can. I don't want to give you any ideas, but you can, of course, like the topic of freedom. Does it have a smell? Does it have a sound? Is it touchy? Can we touch it? You can do whatever you want. I would accept it. You are going to grade yourself using the rubric.